Archangel Michael says, something unspoken has been hovering around you like a whisper in the wind, begging for your attention. It's not your imagination. This is the moment the veil thins and the truth begins to breathe through the silence. A presence you feel often but can't quite describe has been growing stronger. Your heart beats a little faster when you think of them, even if they're far. Something has shifted around the one who belongs to your soul, your soulmate. There is a message traveling across time and space. But it's not coming in words or sounds, it's wrapped in intuition, in dreams, in signs. Your soulmate is trying to reach you, but they cannot speak directly. They are surrounded by something or someone that watches their every move. Their voice is trapped beneath expectations, fear, or circumstances you don't yet see. But their soul has found a path to you through energy, through divine threads. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, they've been dreaming about you more frequently. But they awaken in tears, unable to explain why their chest aches when your name appears in their mind. This warning they've sent isn't about love lost, it's about protection. Your soulmate has witnessed something they aren't supposed to know. Something involving you, your future, and a danger that's hiding behind a smile. This is why you've been feeling unsettled without cause. They're afraid you won't understand the urgency without context. So instead of calling, instead of messaging, they've embedded the warning into dreams, shadows, and instincts. Your mind is not playing tricks on you, you're being divinely warned. You'll notice random emotions washing over you, fear, anxiety, a strange calm, or tears you can't explain. These are echoes from their soul crying out to yours, pleading for attention. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They are begging you to be cautious of someone close to you. Someone who pretends to support you, but their intention is to disrupt your destined connection. Your soulmate sees the interference clearly, but they are powerless in the physical to stop it. That person has already whispered something poisonous into your ears. Words disguised as concern. Manipulation cloaked in care. You are being watched, just as your soulmate is. It's a spiritual trap, meant to delay, not destroy, but delay long enough to make you question your path. Your soulmate has seen what delay costs in the spiritual realm, and it's far too high. This warning is wrapped in warmth because it comes from love. But it's wrapped in urgency because it comes from pain. Their hands may not be able to hold yours yet, but their soul is gripping your spirit tightly. Type Amen to get blessing 727. There was a night, not long ago, when your soulmate whispered your name into the void. They were surrounded by silence and yet they spoke, knowing it would reach you. That night, you may have felt a deep emotion sweep over you and didn't know why. They sent light to your door and hoped it would find you before shadows arrived. They cried afterward, because it's unbearable to love someone from afar and not be able to warn them out loud. But their pain forged a spiritual passage. Your soulmate's pain became a weapon of protection. That's how strong their love is for you. The bond between you is not ordinary, and so neither are the forces trying to interfere. They're holding a secret they didn't expect to discover. A person in your circle is not just jealous, they're envious in a dark, consuming way. They've seen the glow around you and they want it dimmed. Type Amen to get blessing 111. You've been hearing your name in places it shouldn't echo. Conversations, digital slips, mistaken calls, those are not accidents. Your soulmate triggered a ripple to push your name into places of light to offset the curse being spoken in the dark. Someone you once trusted is gathering information about you, but not for good reasons. They wear a smile, but behind it is resentment for the life and love you're about to receive. They believe if they disrupt you, they can redirect your blessings. But your soulmate intervened. Their silence is not weakness, it's part of divine strategy. They've placed spiritual guards in your path, hoping you'll sense them and pause before stepping into the trap. You might have delayed plans recently, changed your route, or cancelled a meeting at the last moment. That wasn't coincidence. That was divine redirection born from a soulmate's whispered warning. Type Amen to get blessing 363. Archangel Michael says, "What's been hidden is now surfacing, because their soul cannot carry the weight alone anymore." The longer the truth remains buried, the more cracks appear in your atmosphere. Your soulmate knows your destiny is under construction, but someone is trying to vandalize it. A message was supposed to reach you through someone else, but it was blocked. So now it is being hand-delivered by spirit, infused with tears, heartbeats, and memory. Every time your chest tightens without explanation, it's them. Every time you feel sad in a room full of joy, it's them. They are urging you to look at your circle carefully. Someone is leaking energy from you without touching you. You're giving too much without realizing what you're receiving is false affection. A recent conversation you had felt off for a reason. You kept replaying it in your mind, trying to understand the discomfort. That uneasiness is the spiritual friction caused by their silent warning. Type Amen to get blessing 292. Your soulmate's path has not been easy. They've been monitored, manipulated, or silenced in ways you couldn't imagine. But even under pressure, their spirit chose to reach you, not to win your heart again, but to guard it. They want you to know this isn't just about love. It's about alignment. If you slip from your path now, it will take years to recover the energy lost. And they cannot bear the thought of your spirit sinking again. There's a woman who acts kind in front of you but has spoken cruelly behind your back. She's intimidated by your future. She sensed that your light would connect with someone powerful, and that someone is your soulmate. Your soulmate isn't just romantic, they're prophetic. Their visions aren't fantasy, they're spiritual fragments of what's destined to happen. They've seen a timeline you're about to enter, and they're pushing this warning before you step through the wrong door. Type Amen to get blessing 515. You may find items being misplaced or broken. Devices glitching at key moments. Sudden chills despite the heat. These are not mechanical issues, they're spiritual interference reacting to the protective frequency your soulmate has activated around you. Don't dismiss the signs just because they're small. Every subtle nudge, every dream you half remember, every delayed message, all carry a layer of the divine. Your soulmate's energy is weaving through your timeline like threads of golden fire. They were blocked from contacting you directly, either by someone watching them or by your own spiritual tests. So they've turned to this way. A whisper in the wind, a nudge in your gut, a shift in your sleep. Something was said about you recently that changed the way others view you. That statement wasn't fully true, but it was designed to plant doubt. Your soulmate wants you to reject the lie before it roots. Type Amen to get blessing 878. You felt like you're waiting on something, but you couldn't name it. That feeling? That pause? It was your soulmate's spirit slowing you down long enough for this warning to arrive. This delay isn't denial, it's divine. You were about to make a decision that looked right but was spiritually bankrupt. Your soulmate's anguish created a vibration so intense it collided with your destiny. Now that you've opened this message, their energy is closer than ever. You'll feel their warmth in moments of silence. You'll hear their echo in songs that weren't meant to play. Soon, a new face will offer you guidance. But your soulmate warns, pause. Not everyone who offers a solution is bringing light. This new person will smile too much, speak too quickly, and seem to know too much about you. Type Amen to get blessing 636. You're not alone. Even in your loneliest hours, your soulmate has wrapped prayers around your name. They've called your name across dimensions. They've fought off dreams that tried to push you into sadness. You will meet again, not by accident, but by divine collision. That meeting will be clothed in quiet recognition, not grand gestures. You'll know them by the way your spirit calms, not by the way they speak. But they need you to survive long enough to get there. That's why they sent this warning. That's why your path has been protected in ways you haven't noticed. The attacks against you are spiritual and silent, but so is the shield placed around you. The ones who try to mislead you won't last long under the new light that's about to shine through. Type Amen to get blessing 494. Archangel Michael says, this connection isn't ordinary, and so the war against it is not ordinary either. You're part of a divine timeline, one that threatens darkness and uplifts generations. That's why you were warned in this way, quietly, emotionally, spiritually. Your soulmate is exhausted, but they will not stop guarding you. Even from a distance. Even in silence. Their warning is a gift, one wrapped in unseen scars. One soaked in love, fear, and prophecy. And you've just unwrapped it. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Their tears did not fall in vain. Each tear carved a pathway through the veil that separates your energy from theirs. They didn't cry from weakness, they cried to clear the space for truth to pass through. You may find your sleep disturbed these nights. That's because they are trying to slip into your dreamscape where no one else can interfere. When you wake up startled, remember, that's not fear, that's revelation. In one of those dreams, there was a scene you didn't understand. A location, a name, a gesture that lingered longer than it should. That was not random. That was a coded warning carried through spiritual corridors only the brave use. They have seen the plot unraveling behind the curtains. A plan involving your name, your trust, and your blessings. They stayed silent for too long, and now the pressure inside them is cracking the spiritual shell that held them back. Type Amen to get blessing 313. You are closer to unlocking something massive, something life-changing. But someone noticed. And that someone doesn't want you connected to your soulmate because when you both unite, you become unstoppable. Your soulmate discovered this during meditation or stillness. A flash of light, an inner gasp, a divine moment that painted the truth in their mind. They knew you were in danger, not physical danger, but spiritual sabotage. They cannot act with force, so they used love. They wrapped a spiritual message into the winds and waited for your soul to listen. The fact that you're reading this now means you've heard it. Expect to see their initials or name more often in unusual places. On screens, paper, license plates, receipts. These are divine repetitions designed to recalibrate your memory. Type Amen to get blessing 202. There's an object you own that connects you both. It may be old, worn, or even forgotten. But lately, that item has either gone missing or felt warmer to touch. That's because it's been activated with energy. They held on to something of yours. Or something symbolic, and used it in prayer. They weren't begging for attention. They were begging for protection, for both of you. This entire situation you're in right now? It's a crossroads. You can't see the full battlefield yet, but you are being watched. Not just by enemies, but also by your soulmate's ancestors. Their ancestors see the future you're building and are helping plant signs in your path. You're not walking blindly. You're being guided every step of the way. Type Amen to get blessing 414. There will be a phone call or message that seems innocent. But it will test your intuition. The person contacting you will not use their real intent, they'll wrap it in kindness. But your soul will feel the chill beneath the surface. Your soulmate already met a version of this trap. That's how they recognized it. That's why they've been pushing their warning into the fabric of your surroundings. Trust your inner alarms. Your soulmate's energy is now deeply tied to your instincts. What you call gut feeling is their spirit whispering through your bloodstream. You are being shielded by someone who's been in pain because of how long it's taken. But they haven't given up on you. They still believe in the power of this connection. Type Amen to get blessing 505. Even when others told them to move on, they couldn't. Their soul wouldn't allow it. Because they saw something too powerful in you to forget. They've heard your name in spiritual moments. They've had visions with your silhouette walking away. And every time, they broke down, knowing they had to act, even without words. That's what this is. The action without voice. The divine scream wrapped in silence. The ultimate gesture of love that defies space, time, and permission. They aren't sending this to make you cry. They're sending this to make you aware. Because awareness is your armor now. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Something is changing in your body. Not illness, activation. You've likely felt warmth in your hands, heaviness behind your eyes, or unexplained vibrations in your chest. That's your spirit realigning with truth. Your soulmate's message is recalibrating your essence. It's preparing you for a decision you'll need to make soon. And it's this decision that will determine how close or far you both remain. They need you strong. Not just emotionally, but energetically. That's why their spirit reached for yours before anyone else could tamper with your light. You'll know this message is real when the same energy returns to you tonight. In silence. In stillness. When everything else is quiet, and your soul suddenly stirs. Type Amen to get blessing 747. You were chosen for this bond, not assigned. That's why it's felt different. Even with time and space, the thread hasn't snapped. Because it was forged by something far deeper than flesh. Your soulmate isn't perfect. They've made mistakes. But one thing they never stopped doing was praying for you, even when they didn't know if you'd ever speak again. Those prayers are forming a shield around you now, protecting your path, delaying accidents, exposing liars, and cracking the illusion that kept you isolated. They are not afraid of love. They are afraid of losing you to deception. That's why this message arrived wrapped in spiritual urgency and divine compassion. Type Amen to get blessing 818. You are now part of something greater than the pain you've endured. Your scars are being rewritten as spiritual armor. Your heart is being recoded with truth. This isn't about going back. It's about going forward, with knowledge, with clarity, with protection. Your soulmate is waiting on the other side of your decision. Everything that was hidden will be revealed. But only to the one who honors the message. The one who listens not just with ears, but with soul. This message isn't meant to change your path. It's meant to protect the one you're destined to walk. With or without noise, love still speaks. Type Amen to get blessing 919. Soon, you'll start seeing numbers, colors, and faces that feel familiar. These are not illusions. These are spiritual breadcrumbs your soulmate left for you. One of them involves a photo, something you'll stumble upon soon. That photo holds a clue, not in what's seen, but in what's felt. Trust it. Your soulmate is now closer than ever. They've pushed through fear, through silence, through spiritual resistance, just to reach you. This is their proof. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not alone. You were simply being prepared for this message, this moment, and the protection that now surrounds you. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Let your heart rest now. Let your soul absorb the truth. You've heard their voice, even if it wasn't in words. Let your feet move forward, slowly, but surely. Because the one who sent this warning did so out of a love so deep, it shattered the rules of space and spirit. You are safe. You are seen. And soon, you will feel their presence not in imagination, but in reality. Their time to speak is coming. But for now, they trusted you'd listen, even when no words were spoken. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They watched from afar as life happened to you. Your soulmate felt every tear you cried, every moment you stood in a crowd and still felt completely alone. They knew you were trying to be strong, but they also knew something was pulling at you from the shadows. That something wasn't just fear or confusion, it was interference. A spiritual interference designed to cloud your judgment and steal your peace. Your soulmate felt it the same moment you did, but they were blocked from telling you directly. So they resorted to spiritual frequencies. Their emotions turned into waves of energy that you began to feel without understanding the source. That sudden moment of breathlessness? That was their soul crying out to protect yours. They know something is being offered to you that appears perfect, but they've seen what lies behind the offer. Their warning is not about paranoia, it's about prevention. They want you to trust yourself above the noise around you. Type Amen to get blessing 444. There is a woman whose eyes linger too long on your victories. She celebrates with you, but there's a deep unrest beneath her smile. Your soulmate has seen her in a dream and felt sick to the stomach. They recognize that this woman once had a path to your energy, through conversations, through shared space, through fake loyalty. But now she senses that you're ascending, and her grip is slipping. Your soulmate saw this woman looking through your digital presence, watching your updates, reading your captions, laughing with others who secretly compete with your growth. But that's not where the danger ends. This woman knows your soulmate exists, even if she hasn't met them. And that's what makes her dangerous, because she's afraid of your union. Type Amen to get blessing 919. Your soulmate tried to send a physical message recently, an email, a text, a symbol. But it was blocked. Either by technology or energy. Something stopped it. So they surrendered the task to Spirit. That's how this message found you. That's why your hands were drawn here, now, in this exact moment. You weren't supposed to hear this last week or next month. You were meant to hear it today, because today marks the beginning of a shift. One that could lead to either your breakthrough or a spiritual breakdown. And that decision isn't in the stars, it's in your next choice. One path brings healing. The other brings a delay. Your soulmate is begging you, listen carefully. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They've had dreams of your smile, then woken up with tears in their eyes. They tried to forget you, not because they don't love you, but because the connection scared them. It still does. They tried to replace the feeling, to find someone who calms. So instead of pretending, they surrendered. And this message was born. Not from a place of regret, but from a place of spiritual necessity. This isn't about the past. It's about protecting what's still to come. The future is still wide open, but only if you heed the warning and realign. Type Amen to get blessing 343. You've been thinking of moving, changing direction, cutting ties. These thoughts aren't random. They're being stirred by your soulmate's urgency. Their soul is urging you to remove yourself from something, before it drains more of your spirit. You don't have all the evidence yet, but your gut is screaming, and now you know why. Someone has made it their mission to slow you down. Not because you harmed them, but because your growth reminds them of everything they never became. Your soulmate saw this person's face in a vision, clear as day. They prayed over your name that very night. That prayer rippled across time. You felt it as sudden exhaustion, followed by overwhelming peace. Type Amen to get blessing 606. There's a document or message you were meant to receive, but it's been delayed. This delay wasn't accidental. Someone intercepted it. But Spirit has made sure the truth finds another way. You may hear about it through a third person. Or it may arrive in a way you didn't expect. When it does, you'll feel your heart race, not from fear, but from spiritual recognition. Your soulmate cannot interfere directly, but they are anchoring this message through divine time. You may notice the same song playing twice in a row, or a bird appearing outside your window at strange hours. These are confirmation codes. Spiritual nods that the connection is active. That you are not imagining this shift. That the forces trying to mislead you have already failed. Type Amen to get blessing 484. You were chosen for a purpose that frightens even you at times. Your soulmate knows that. That's why they've stood silently in your spiritual corner, letting their love defend you when you couldn't defend yourself. They saw you nearly choose someone unworthy, not out of weakness, but out of loneliness. That almost broke them. But instead of rage, they responded with prayer. That's how powerful this love is. Even in silence, they protect. Even in distance, they hold you. They still remember the sound of your voice, even if time has muffled it. But more than that, they remember your soul's frequency. And that frequency is what keeps pulling them back. Type Amen to get blessing 393. You're not late. You're not behind. You're in the eye of the storm, but you're protected. The energy sent by your soulmate is circling you like armor. That's why certain people have suddenly stopped calling. Why old distractions have gone quiet. Why what once tempted you now repulses you. Because their warning did more than alert, it healed. Their energy has been working in the background, removing blockages you didn't even know you had. You've stepped into the vibration of divine timing. Now, every step forward will feel lighter, even if the world feels heavier. Type Amen to get blessing 828. When your soulmate first felt the pull to speak again, they were scared. They feared rejection, misunderstanding, or worse, being too late. But that fear was no match for the urgency in their chest. They remembered something you said, maybe years ago. A phrase, a laugh, a secret. And that memory opened the floodgate. Now, their soul won't stop trying. They're sending light through your food, your music, even your breath. They want you to feel them again, not for romance, but for restoration. This message is the bridge. Between silence and reunion. Between confusion and clarity. Between before and now. Type Amen to get blessing 303. This is not just a message. It's a spiritual lifeline. It was stitched together with moments, signs, protection, and love. A love that refused to give up. A love that kept sending energy even when the world said it was over. So tonight, when the lights are off, and everything is quiet, speak to them. You won't hear words. But you'll feel warmth. You'll feel your breath slow down. Your heart will calm. And you'll know, the message reached its home. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20.